Hello, my name is Maury Bahar, and I'm here to tell you about personal remedies. I have only 5 minutes, so let me dive right in. It normally takes me 45 minutes to just introduce myself. At Personal Remedies, we provide fully automated, personalized dietary guidance, taking into account an individual's multiple illnesses, allergies, dietary preferences, and medications. Many say food is medicine. We provide the enabling technology for it. How do we do that? Imagine your favorite food, let's say grilled octopus, and imagine an illness, let's say pancreatic cancer. There is no clinical study, there is no NIH-funded initiative that tells us whether this given food is helpful or harmful to this given illness. But there are all types of resources in form of research available on nutrient and disease interactions, and there is all kinds of information about nutrient content of various foods. Our AI-powered software and algorithms can digest, analyze, and summarize all such studies and research to establish a relationship between every individual food in our knowledge base and every chronic illness. So we have over 200 chronic illnesses. So that gives us one of the largest food disease interaction knowledge bases in the industry. How do we quantify, how do we monetize this information? Well, we will shortly see capabilities of our knowledge base through our website. But one way we monetize it is through our industry standard API. Enterprises can license access to our knowledge base through our API. We also have over 40 different mobile apps, each focused on one chronic illness and its common comorbidities. The latest ones are Choose This, Not That, for coronavirus, and another one is for opioid use disorder. This is a screenshot of our coronavirus app that we just announced and is available on Android at the present time. As you can see, an end user can pick the profile that most appropriately represents their situation. Apps can also provide recommendations on what are the best choices within a given food group. As for our team, I would love to tell you more about them. I've been around for a while, and a couple of companies I worked for went public. Dr. Lenhart is our medical director and established author of a couple of books, and is a primary care physician. Katya has PhD in nutrition from Tufts University. And Frank Slutman is frankly a rock star in the high-tech industry. In 2012, he was ranked as the top CEO in the country. Now let's dive into a demo of our capabilities so I can substantiate all these wonderful claims that I've been making. So let's create a fictional profile. Let's say we have an adult woman. Let's say this woman suffers from polycystic ovary syndrome and happens to have some excess weight. And let's make it more interesting and say she has high blood pressure. As you can see, by the way, there are a variety of illnesses, diets, cancer, various types of cancers, various types of diets and medications that one can choose for the profile. So now our system will provide, based on that profile, list of the type of food choices that are helpful to this person and the type of food choices that are harmful to this person. You can also get answers to questions such as, who said and why did you say trout is so wonderful for, say, high blood pressure? So if I click on that, you will get the list of all the resources or references and sources that stand behind that particular assertion. Similarly, you may ask, why is croissant so terrible for polycystic ovary syndrome? And again, you get a list of sources that stand behind that assertion. So that's basically it. Just to wrap up, I can also show you that you can get the list of recommendations organized by food groups. There are 10 different food groups. These are all good, and these are all bad or harmful. I hope that I have not succeeded in confusing everyone. Thanks again for your attention.
Not at all, although I would like to see that 45-minute introduction, Maury. Thanks very much for being with us this morning.
Pleasure.
So a few questions. Who are your top customers at the moment? Where are you rolled out?
Okay, we basically switched our strategy from B2C to B2B about 18 months ago and focused on marketing and promoting our API. And in that regard, we have signed up organizations such as Edamame. They have several million recipes in their database, and they have established customer base of all types of established big names like Food Network and so on. And they take advantage of our ability to establish helpfulness or harmfulness of a given ingredient as it relates to a given illness. Using that data, among several million recipes, they can identify what are the best recipes for someone who suffers from high blood pressure, who suffers from rheumatoid arthritis, and so on. So that's, one of the key partners and customers that we have. Prior to going to introducing our API, we also signed up telehealth organizations. On the West Coast, for example, Go Health Now was able to provide personalized dietary guidance to people that they serve through their telehealth model.
It seems like a terrific resource. In terms of the clinical validation, the literature behind it, could you talk just a little bit about how you validate the studies? Are they only US-centric? Are they go beyond the States? How are you guys thinking about that?
Excellent question, Simon. Remember, we are not in the pharma business. We don't conduct clinical studies. But the studies that we use as sources and references for what we provide are all screened, and we ensure we take advantage of the best evidence-backed studies that substantiate the relationship between a given nutrient and a given illness. So you should view our technology as an e-dietitian, okay? It just so happens that our dietitian doesn't forget anything. Our dietitian knows about relationship between 90 different nutrients that we track and 2,000 different food items that we track. Right there, that's 180,000 relationships that we remember.
Right.
Our e-dietitian remembers about all the research that's available out there about various illnesses and dietary impact against versus those illnesses. So that's really what we bring to the table. We're not trying to contribute or provide original scientific contribution. We are trying to improve the status quo by not just 20% or 50%, but 1,000% because of our ability to process all that data and all that information.
Yeah, it's that aggregation and actual actionable intelligence. So, Maury, thanks so much for being with you. We've got to end the session this morning, but very much appreciate you being with us.